As I'm recording this, it is the 1st of November. And we know that today, yesterday, tomorrow are 3 days that are celebrated in so many different traditions across the world, because it's a time where we honor the life of those that we have loved who have passed on. It's a time where we celebrate the lives of those who are still living. And in fact, this 3-day period literally throbs with the energy of rebirth, of reawakening, of reincarnation. My name is Sue Schoning. Thanks for joining us today. And I will tell you, I find it very fitting that we start the month of November with this energy, because it puts us in the right frame of mind for the very powerful energy that the month has in store for us. Now, I know we're tired. Some of us are exhaustedly so from the journey that we've had so far this year. But here is the good news. We are at the finishing line for all the disorder and all of the chaos that so many of us have had to wade through this year. November marks the beginning of a far more coherent, far more productive, and far more creative energy of things to come. And the best way that you can think of 2018 is that this has been the year of our unbecoming. Unbecoming everything that we are not, unbecoming everything that no longer resonates, unbecoming everything that no longer edifies or builds us or supports us. And I'd like to ask you a few questions and just listen to them and see how many of these resonate with you. So here's the first one. How many of you have had dramatic or sudden changes within your home this year, either where you live or the people that you're living with? How many of you have had your relationships come under a very sharp focus, under a very clear spotlight over the last couple of months, forcing you to evaluate who you are and whether this relationship still works for you and what needs to be done to recalibrate it, whether it is a lover, whether it is a spouse, whether it is family, whether it is friendship. Relationships have come under the spotlight in 2018 so very sharply. How many of you have had enormous unpredictability with money, with your job, with your career, with your work colleagues, with your boss, and you've been pushed to recalibrate what you do, who you do it for, why you do it? And more, you've been pushed to recalibrate what your values are and what the worth is of the work that you're doing. How many of you have actually changed jobs or changed companies? How many of you have had your belief system or your opinions or your assumptions or your judgments challenged, and challenged dramatically this year, as the universe has whispered, or in some cases screamed at you, what do you know to be true? What do you know for sure? And the last question, how many of you have had to face your own inner demons, wearing masks maybe of depression or anxiety or grief or anger or soul tiredness this year, and you've been forced to go into a space of deep inner healing? Now this year, 2018, with all its eclipses, its supermoons, its retrogrades, can be summed up with one objective and one objective only. This has been the year of our unbecoming. Now, you know as well as I do that while that sounds gloriously enlightening and really spiritual and wonderfully conscious, that the sound of it and actually going through it are two completely different things. And this year I have had images of walking over broken glass barefoot, or fighting the fires of hell with a water pistol, or challenging Darth Vader to a duel with just a toothpick in my hand. Challenging doesn't begin to describe what we've been through, does it? But the reality is that in order for us to grow and to expand and to become, we first have to undo everything that we're not. We have to undo our programs or our brainwashing, our fixed in concrete belief systems. We have to look at our wounds and our pains and our ancestral DNA and our pain bodies. We have to be willing to look past our judgments or our angers or our opinions or our self-created truths. Now, some of that we can put down easily, you know that. But some of it, well, it took us years to put all of that together. And what we've been doing in this very tumultuous, very intense energy of 2018 is undoing, unraveling, unbecoming. November puts us very firmly at the threshold between unbecoming, which is behind us, and the becoming, which stands before us. As we go through this month, we're going to hear some really big terms like this is the month of ascension, or here we are at the portal of evolution, or it's time that we create our alignment with consciousness because we're at the pinnacle of integration. November resonates with the energy of an 11. 2018 resonates with the energy of an 11, and what this does is it gives us a double 11 and a 22 energy pulsating through the month ahead. But knowing what the numbers are and knowing the big terms of ascension and integration and consciousness, what does it all mean? Because the very real question is, please, dear Lord, can it be easier going forward than anything that we've had to deal with in the last couple of months? So I'd like you to think of November a little bit like a bridge. It's like a doorway. It's like a threshold. It's the space, as I say, between unraveling everything that we're not, so that we can move to the space where we can start to become everything that we are capable of evolving into. November is your reset button. We are resetting so that we can wipe out what it is that we're not, so that we can begin to inscribe everything that we have the potential and the capability of becoming. So you need to think of it as a month of leveling up. Here's an image for you. Think of getting into the elevator. You've been in the lobby of this building and you're now getting into the elevator, and it climbs so fast that your ears begin to pop. And it comes to a stop and you get out on a floor that is much higher up in the building. Let's say floor 22, because that's the energy that this month resonates with. Now, the lobby, it was decorated in one way, and you knew where everything was and you knew how to navigate through the lobby and you became used to the decor. But now you're on a completely different floor and you have a different view and you have a different perspective. From the 22nd floor, if you go to the window, you've got a much wider view. It gives you a completely altered perspective from what you could see on the ground floor. What you could see on the ground floor was what was in front of you. Where you are on the 22nd floor is that you can actually look down and you can see so much more. And November actually brings us this energy of enhanced clarity that comes with being at a much higher space, looking out of a window on a bigger floor. You have a deeper sense of insight. You have an enhanced sense of clarity. It's almost, you have more of a bird's eye view, if I could say that, of what needs to be done and when and who is playing what role. As we go through this month, you can expect to have some very vivid dreams, because this energy really, as you have got a heightened perspective and as you've got an altered perspective, it's going to change what it is that you see. And that's going to start to impact on our dream life. So keep a dream journal near your bed so that you can scribble your dreams down when you wake up in the morning. Be alert as you go through the month for dream themes that reoccur. Be in a space where you are on the lookout for signs, for coincidences, for synchronicities, for serendipitous happenings. You know the difference between a coincidence and a synchronicity? If it happens twice, it's a coincidence. If it happens 3 times, it's synchronicity. November brings us an enhanced sense of intuition. So it's time, listen to your gut instinct, listen to your inner voice, listen to your head whispers. Yes, this is a month where we really, really have to listen to those voices in our head. Because this energy is all about preparing us for becoming, be alert. Opportunity, possibility, and probability might come crowding onto your doorstep, clamoring for your attention. So this is a space where you really need to be absolutely curious and completely open of what is going to happen and what could unfold. Now here's a mantra that I really, really enjoy using. It comes from Dane here, and he says, I am curious. What else is possible? Use that as your daily mantra. Stay in a space of curiosity, because one thing I do know for sure is that when you're open to curiosity, we allow the universe to dance around us with all its sparkling, glorious potential. This is a month where you can expect coincidences, you can expect possibility, you can expect synchronicity. And the mantra that you use as you go through this month, I'm curious what is possible today. I'm curious what else is possible as I go through this month. Because of the synchronicities, it is a bloody brilliant month to pour your energy into intentional manifesting. But remember, a critical part of manifesting is allowing it to be effortless and allowing yourself to receive. Be in a space where you allow yourself to focus on your intention, to allow your intention to move forward and from you, allow it to be effortless, and allow the synchronicity and the universe to dance with you. And when it comes, allow yourself to receive. It's a much different energy from anything we've had as we've gone through the last couple of months. And of course, we've still got Venus in retrograde as we go through the first part of November. And as we come out of the second part of November, she's now in her shadow phase. And when Venus is in retrograde, it's all about the abundance is there, but it might come from a completely unexpected left field manner. So be prepared for those synchronicities that are going to come from all sorts of directions. Here's another image for you. I want you to imagine those floor escalators that you get at the airport. You know those traveling bands that you get on and they take you through those very long corridors so you don't have to walk for miles and miles and miles. I think that they're called travelators. Well, when you get onto a travelator, you can just stand there and let it carry you. Or you can walk and you can get there a couple of fractions of a second or a few minutes earlier. But the point is when you use a travelator, eventually it's going to trundle you through to the other end of it. That's what November is like. It's like we're standing on a travelator, and sooner or later it's going to deposit us on the other end. We got on at this end, which was all about unbecoming. We're on the travelator and we're being transported to the beginning of becoming. Now, there are a few really, really important dates that you need to be aware of. The 11th, the 19th, the 22nd, the 28th, the 29th. And I'm going to be recording a few short video snippets on these days as we come closer to them. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of them. And if you would like to receive our newsletter every month, click on the link in the comments below and just register for our newsletter so that you get these updates on a regular basis. I will be back with you soon with these video snippets about these important dates. The first one is on the 11th. But in the meantime, allow yourself now to think of what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to manifest, what it is that your intentions that you want to set. It's the perfect time to create a 30-day plan, a 60-day plan, a 90-day plan. Whether you're running a business, whether it's in your life, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your money. Because we are in the space of setting intention and releasing it out to the universe so that the universe can dance with possibility with us. So spend some time when you've got a few minutes and just really think, what is it that I want to create over the next 30, 60, 90 days? So there you go, a very quick insight as to what's going on at the moment in time, what the energy is doing. I hope you found it useful. I will be back with you really soon. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.